Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business edition and a little bit of Sillyville toward the end. These recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you want to catch the show live and participate. We do have a couple of updates to start the show. First, the Attorney General announces a critical net neutrality win. So, of course, as soon as net neutrality was banned from Asia, shut your pie hole, then California passed a law, and then that was challenged by it was either state or federal level, I forget, ISPs, whatever else. And after quite a while now, a ruling finally came down and said, no, they're not going to have a stay on the order. So what this means is, for now, California, the companies have to obey the net neutrality. Now, the case isn't over yet. We're not over yet. We've just gotten to the point where the law says it has to run until the final appeals and stuff are all done. So just a very brief update. And an update to this one, for some silly reason, the judge has ordered that, yes, Steam does have to give up sales data in the Apple Epic case. Now, it's only 436 Steam games, not the 30,000 that Apple originally saw. It's like Valve's just over here doing their thing. You get Epic and Apple engaged in this epic battle. Was it Battle Royale? And then they're coming down and they're like, hey, there's this other gaming company over here, Valve. Hey, Valve, give us all your sales data. Now, I understand a small portion of why they might do it, but I would figure any respectable judge would look at this and go, no, you're off your rocker, you morons. They're not involved in this case. This is between Apple and Epic. Valve doesn't have much to do with this. Now, they did highlight a comment where somebody says this is the case. Now, this is really the only argument for this, is to say that Apple is gathering data to suggest that there's no competition and that having another means to have more sales channels up on the Apple platform is going to provide competition. So saying, hey, here's a third party. Let's see how they're doing. And that's really what is at behind it. But I think that this is even wrong for the judge to rule. This sets a very bad precedent when a company can subpoena sales data for some uninvolved third party. That's just insane. But it sets a precedent, and this is kind of problematic. So that's the case. Of course, there is another brief update we didn't have. This updated a couple weeks ago, but in North Dakota, the bill did not pass that would force Apple to have a separate store. So very sad. Well, Canada looks at what's going on down there in Australia and goes, I think forcing Facebook to pay for news is a cool idea. So now Canada is vowed on Thursday to make Facebook Inc. pay for news content, seeking allies in the media to battle with tech giants and pledging not to go down if social media platform shuts off the country's news as it did in Australia. To my understanding, they turned the news back on after a while. But now we're having this type of fat battle going. Maybe when big corporations are taking on governments, it's about time to regulate or decommission the corporation. When you can wag the company, you're a little bit too powerful. Maybe that's the case. But hey, we got the Terminator and Lex Luthor and I don't know what's Bill Gates and all this. I got to think about that one. But of course, the Terminator, that's Mark Zuckerberg because, robot and stuff. Then we got Lex Luthor. That's of course Jeff Bezos. What's Bill Gates? Which evil villain is Bill Gates? I don't know. You guys let me know. But anyway, I digress. So yeah, Canada and Facebook are now heading it off. Chromebooks have surpassed Mac in the computer market share. I think there's a couple reasons. I think that they're easier to use than the Macs probably. They are certainly infinitely cheaper, and they will accomplish about the same thing because your average person out there, they just need something to browse the web, write a document, and send email. A Chromebook will do that just as well, if not better than an Apple. Now, if you need real computing power, the Apple or the PC is definitely better. I'd wager, of course, something with Linux is infinitely better. And that's a very small market share, though, too. But the big trend here is that Chromebooks have finally outsold the Macs in 2020. So here is your Windows market share actually dropped down to 75%, which is massive. That's woohoo! Go Chromebooks! Go Chromebooks! Chrome OS, you can see it goes up. Mac is going down. Notice how the drop in Windows is significantly higher than the rise in Chromebooks. I wonder if there's Linux adoption in here. They're not showing us. Meanwhile, Linux is like going, and it was like, yeah, we just don't want to show that. That would bring the neckbeards on in and them fruity guys with their free software stuff. But switch to Linux, folks. Way, way better. Well, Linux is now on Mars. It's about time. My alien colony, we have hidden ourselves because of the Mars Land Rover over there now. We have hidden our colony that we have. So, and then we're just going to be doing some funny things to interfere with the thing so you can't get there. But anyway, the rover is over there, has landed on Mars, and it is actually using its own... It's using a distro based on Linux. I was trying to see exactly what is it. Is it Debian? Is it Ubuntu? Is it Arch? Arch. There you go. I also wonder, does it get over-the-air updates? What happens if that crashes? And then I have to think about, if there's no over-the-air updates, when did this thing launch? Like, is this running like Linux kernel 2 or something? I don't know. But just some fun questions. But nevertheless, the Land Rover lands on Mars, and now Linux is officially on Mars. Totally cool. Well, there's some new video of New York City Police Department is now redeploying the robotic dog. So if this isn't terrifying enough, another group attached paintballs to the robotic dog, a paintball gun. And so that just kind of tells you where it's going. How long before somebody puts some laser cannon on that thing, running it through the streets. It's like, how do we stop this thing? I don't know. Find the hacker who has it in control. But they are deploying the robot dogs. They're going around. They're collecting data. They're harvesting little things. Somebody in the video actually is like, that's creepy. Let's see. Is this let me go ahead and refresh this page and see if we get the police dog video. I think we do. Let me turn on the audio and see what we get. If it actually loads.
That thing is creepy.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Amen. He said that thing is creepy. That's right. Yeah, that's the police dog. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Stop in the name of the law. Oh, our final story of the day. Epic settles in the class action lawsuit over loot boxes. Of course, people spend all this money on loot boxes, all this stuff. People want their money back. They have settled it. They're going to get $78 million in digital money. So let's get this straight. Big company Equihacks leaks out every American adult's private data. Everybody gets free credit monitoring service, but if you already have that, we'll throw you a bone and half of you will get $5. Epic loses a giant lawsuit. They get to pay people in monopoly money. I think that our criminal justice system is failing America right now. I think it is, guys. Epic fail. Epic fail. Of course, each individual user, I think it'll get like $8. You get 1,000 V-Bucks, folks. You win the lawsuit. You win the lawsuit. What in the world does Epic have to pay? Here, have some digital money. My Lord, people. My Lord! Why? Why are they allowed to give digital currency? They should not be allowed to give digital currency. Oh, man! What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? You've lost a $78 million lawsuit. What's it cost you? A couple of ones and zeros, buddy. And this is okay with some judge out there? Can we put the judge on trial for treason? My Lord. Check, please. I want off the planet. I'm going to take the next spaceship to Mars. Oh, boy. Well, if you'd like to help support the channel, we do have a series of affiliates today. We are talking about Linode. I'm actually using my Jitsi server is on Linode, so we can do our video conferencing and our supporter stream. I have some client websites over there now as well. Been playing around with Linode. It works awesome. It's actually really fast as well, so that's good. You can use you can use my affiliate code here, tlm.li/Linode. You can get $100 in credit, good for 60 days. You can spin up as many Linodes as you want in that time, and then that will give you a chance to play around, see what all you can do, see what type of things you can build, anything from your own private Bitwarden servers, Jitsi servers, VPNs, all sorts of other fun stuff. You can do it all on Linode. So thanks for watching, guys. I think actually we're doing Sillyville next. So let's head on over to Sillyville now. First in Sillyville, Disney Plus is warning of offensive content featured in The Muppet Show. Yep. Guys, if I wanted to cover all of the nonsense as far as what's being blocked and banned, it'd be a long show. I just heard today, just before the news, that now some people are recommending to stop reading Dr. Seuss because it's offensive and racist, apparently. I'm not sure how Green Eggs and Ham and Cat in the Hat is racist. I'd advise you not to watch the Michael Myers version of Cat in the Hat. I've never seen a more terrifying movie. Like, Freddy Krueger is less terrifying than that movie, guys. But I digress. All 5 seasons of The Muppet Show are on Disney Plus. All depending on which episode you're streaming, you may receive a content disclaimer warning of potentially offensive material. That's right. And the program includes negative depictions and or mistreatment of people or cultures. These stereotypes were wrong then and they're wrong now. No, they weren't wrong then, you morons. They were exactly what made up comedy. They were things that were very true. I mean, you talk about a poo on The Simpsons, right? I have to think of it every day because the gas station I always go to is run by a guy who's an Indian who owns it. It's just like a poo. His name very well is possibly a poo. Don't go coming in. You know, I mean, really. And it's just, I don't get it. I mean, Muppets, The Muppet Show. Can you find anything more diverse here? We've got every color. We got, like, colors, races, species, and everybody's friends and gets along. So, yeah, apparently now Muppets is canceled. It's all bad. So, anyway, let's go ahead and read the rest of this nonsense. Rather than remove this content, we want to acknowledge its harmful impact. Oh, because we're all a bunch of whiny sissies that get our butt hurt over words. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. Maybe as much as I hated that acronym growing up, maybe it's time we bring it back. When's the last time you heard this one? If Bobby told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? Yeah, this is in response to that whole New York Times basically banning critical thought. If you missed that article, the New York Times, they're like, no, maybe this teaching people to think for themselves is a problematic thing. We got too many people walking around without masks. I think in response to my last video, last week's weekly news roundup, somebody comments says, your Linux stuff is okay, but like, you're not qualified to talk about biostatistics. Yeah, funny thing, I actually have a PhD related to biostatistics, but I've only been using Linux for 3 years. I think it's 5, but you know. Trust me, I'm more qualified to talk about that. But, you know, I have this thing in my head. It's called a brain. I spent 15 years in higher education learning how to use it. I'm going to use critical thinking skills. Anyway, Disney is committed to creating stories with inspirational and aspirational themes that reflect the rich diversity of human experience and those around the globe. Yeah, the rich experience of diversity. Like this weird cast of stuff that some of it I know what it is and some of it I have no earthly idea. Some of it I'm pretty sure was spawned on an LSD trip. But nevertheless, so apparently now Muppet Show is horribly offensive. And so we have to be careful of the horribly offensive Muppet Show. Oh, yes. An entire school board resigns following parents mocking, the board mocking parents on a Zoom call. The wonderful glory of technology, particularly when you get into the cases where, these people don't know how to use computers. They have no idea. I was trying to help a client get logged into a GoDaddy account, and I had to teach her how to get an SMS message to verify the code. And it was difficult because some people just don't know how to use technology. And frankly, that's okay. So over here, they're doing this school board meeting, and they thought they were on private, and then they just decided to start insulting the parents, and it was public, and people were recording it. So here's some things, and I think that there is some things on some of these videos that I don't generally like to show on the channel, but for completion, we'll just play some of these as long as it doesn't go too long.
Uh-oh. Laura Lanier, just FYI, you guys have the meeting. Oh, we have the meeting open to the public right now.
Whoops.
That's what Laura just said.
Whoops.
Great. And they don't know what we do behind the scenes. And it's really unfortunate that they want to pick on us because they want their babysitters back.
Right.
Yeah, we want our babysitter back. It has nothing to do with wanting to send our kids back to school to get an education. Of course, if New York Times has their way, they wouldn't have an education. No critical thought needed here. Just, need to do that.
And they don't know what we do behind the scenes. And it's really unfortunate.
We saw that one already.
My brother had a delivery service for medical marijuana. The high clientele were parents with their kids in school.
That's so funny. We're delivering pot to your parents. There you go.
And they don't know what.
Yeah, we saw that one.
Are we alone?
Yeah.
If you're going to call me out, I'm going to fuck you up. Sorry, that's just me.
Yeah, sorry for that language, but that's what they were doing. They're insulting the parents, and it was broadcasting live. Whoops! So the school board resigns. Good. Maybe put some people in there that, will use their critical, rational thinking, look at statistics and say, hey guys, no children have died of this crap. Let's go ahead and send them back to school. Oh, by the way, the teachers just out of college, they're doing just fine. The 30s and 40-year-old teachers, they're also just fine. Hey, let's just go ahead and keep the 60-year-old teachers and the fat ones home for a semester or two and give them a little bit of extra stay-at-home pay this year because they're the actual vulnerable ones here. All right, there you go. So make sure if you're on a Zoom call, make sure you're not publishing, broadcasting it live. But yeah, there you have it, guys. There you have it. So whole school board. And finally, the final one here, the Twitch copyright bot replaces audio stream on live Metallica concert with generic music library. You have to understand the history of Metallica and censorship to truly understand the irony of this. So this is a band they are the ones that made the biggest deal about people downloading their songs on Napster without paying them the royalties. And is it Lars? I forget which one of the guitarists, I think. I think he was caught shoplifting or something. And then he's making this big deal trying to defend himself. And he told the camera in this interview, well, if your kids stopped pirating my music, maybe I wouldn't have to bleep and shoplift. And of course, this is, of course, the same band that does a whole song called So What, which is all about purely about moral relativism, that it doesn't matter what you do you, man. You can, I mean, they talk in there about all forms of sexuality, all forms of religion, all forms of anything. You just do you. So what? It doesn't matter what anybody else does, no matter what. Until, of course, you start trading their songs and cutting into their royalties, then they're going to come after you. And so they're really, really the first pansies who came after all this kind of stuff and going, oh yeah, man, we need to put an end to anybody and everybody that's doing this kind of stuff. And so they decided in COVID land, they can't get out there and do that. So they're going to run themselves an awesome Twitch streamed concert, boys. The Twitch bot took him down. Oh, glorious! Oh, glorious! A little taste of your own medicine. Oh, boy. LMAO, BlizzCon muted Metallica's live virtual concert and just playing random low-key music over the whole thing. Oh, get what you pay for, boys. Get what you pay for. There we have it. Y'all made a big deal about copyright. Here comes the bots for you. All right, well, if you'd like to help support this crazy nonsense, you can head on over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/TOMM. This supports my 3 channels, Linux, Christian work, and writing stuff as well. So thanks for coming along, everybody. We will see you in the next video, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Thank you for watching this video from Switched to Linux. This channel would not be possible without the backing of the program supporters scrolling on the screen now. You can be a supporter at Patreon at patreon.com/TOMM or at thinklifemedia.com. I also want to thank the open source community who creates such excellent software that makes producing this show possible. Please remember to support your software communities. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.